Hey everybody, Sawyer here, and I'm coming with you with a movie trailer review slash discussion video. Try to keep it short and sweet. Basically, this is going to be for X-Men Dark Phoenix, which is the newest in a long line. Almost feels like too long of a line of X-Men movies. So, disclaimer, I've never really been a huge X-Men fan, comic book or movie wise. Like, they're fine. I mean, some of the movies have been really good, especially the early ones. Like the first couple ones were really good in my opinion. And I like the comic book from time to time, but I'm not like a die-hard X-Men fan. I can't tell you all the different X-Men characters, especially the new ones. In the last couple years, they've put out some really a lot of new ones. But like I do like a lot of the core characters and core stuff. Like I've never been a big Wolverine fan. I can say that right now. Like I feel like he's really overrated. But that's beside the point because he's not even in the movie that I know of, and he better not make an appearance. That would be a really kind of annoying, actually. So one of the characters I really like, because I'm not a big fan of Jean Grey either. Like she's just kind of like there a lot of times, in my opinion. And Dark Phoenix as a whole, like the storyline has always been kind of overplayed in my opinion. Like it was really cool when they did it in the '80s in the comic books. It was really well done, but they kind of like rehash it over and over, like in different medias, cartoon and movies and video games and different cartoons and stuff. They've even, they've even rebooted it in the comic books. Like, he did like another Phoenix saga with a different character or some shit. I don't remember exactly. But I'm trying to get all that to say that I'm not overly excited for the Phoenix saga itself, but what I am excited to see in this movie is some Cyclops love, because that is my favorite character. I know a lot of people don't like Cyclops, and a lot of people think he's a jerk and he's arrogant or whatever, but I really like Cyclops, and I can't really say if he's like that in the newer comics, but like I really enjoyed him in the '80s runs and in the '90s runs. I thought he was really interesting character. Like I love leader characters, especially like the stoic kind of morally strong leader characters, and that's always kind of what Cyclops represented. And Cyclops always gets the shaft in these movies. Like he doesn't really ever get to do anything, especially in the original trilogy. So I was excited whenever we got the last movie, Age of Apocalypse, which wasn't really all that good, but Cyclops was perfectly handled in that movie, and he got a decent number of screen time, and he's played by a decent enough actor. I don't really like him as a young person, but I don't know, we'll see. But I'm just excited to see Cyclops get some respect and get some time in the movie. He better not just die. She better not kill him like she did in X-Men Last Stand. But he's usually a big part of the Phoenix Saga because he has to be the anchor to kind of like pull Jean down, which doesn't usually work. But he still has to. You have to have a character to represent the moral, strong, good side of Jean, and that's usually Cyclops. In X-Men 3, it was Wolverine because he was a cop blocker and he was moving in on everything that Cyclops was supposed to do in that series. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. Really excited for that. Other things in the trailer, Magneto, we get to see him again. I feel like he's kind of overplayed now. Not overplayed, but just like his role in each movie seems to be the same. He just seems to be like a character that gets recruited or brought into the fold by another character. And this is kind of the same thing, like except Jean goes to him for advice or something, which I don't really get, but whatever. That seemed a little like a little played out, a little cliche, I guess you could say. I've seen a lot of fans say that about this trailer, that it feels very, very repetitive, like it's just replaying a bunch of the same beats, and I definitely see that. And there ain't really much you can say about that. I mean, hopefully they had some. We haven't seen the actual movie, so hopefully they do enough changes to make it kind of fresh. But overall, it's a solid trailer. I mean, it's nothing super fancy or inspiring, but it's a decent enough trailer. I really like how the trailer kind of plays around with the idea of Professor X not being in the right, like not being the all, knowing, wise person that he usually is. Like he apparently holds some secrets from Jean and from her childhood that are even suppressing memories or something. I think was what we were hinted at, and it's coming back to bite him in the ass. And I really like that. I like whenever characters like Professor X, characters that are very usually right and they're usually in the right part of their judgment cycle. I like when they kind of do something that's not the best thing. Like they don't make the best decision and it comes back to haunt them. that's always cool to see. It makes for good tension. It makes for good drama. So I'm really interested to see how Professor X does that, like how he goes through the movie, trying to repent for what he did, and like thinking that he probably caused Jean to get to this level. We see that there's a lot of conflict between him and Beast in the trailer. Like they're not at odds with each other, or they are at odds. We even see that. We even see a scene where Mystique, kind of makes a smarky remark to him, like she's disappointed in him or whatever, and that's really cool. And James McAvoy is a great actor, so I'm really interested to see him convey that as the character. So in closing, the movie looks okay, but I mean that's what I said about Age of Apocalypse. Hopefully it's not. And Age of Apocalypse was okay, but a lot of people didn't like it. So I kind of feel like the same thing might happen here. But here's hoping that it doesn't. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you hyped for this? Did you think the trailer delivered, or were you like me and you think the trailer was just kind of okay? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching.